आप सभी का नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 की आज की परिचर्चा में हार्दिक स्वागत है। जैसा हम सबको पता है कि आज का जो परिवेश है वो इंडस्ट्री 4.0 का एरा है और ऐसे एरा में इंडस्ट्री 4.0 के एरा में उच्चतर शिक्षा मनुष्य और समाज के विकास के लिए अति आवश्यक हो गई है। एक राष्ट्र के आर्थिक विकास और रोजगार के लिए तो यह महत्वपूर्ण थी ही, परंतु हमारी 21वीं सदी की आवश्यकताओं को देखते हुए, हम सबकी नित्य नई आवश्यकताओं को देखते हुए एक गुणवत्तापूर्ण क्वालिटी उच्च शिक्षा का महत्व बहुत ही बढ़ जाता है। ऐसे में इसका उद्देश्य हमारे विद्यार्थियों का किसी स्पेसिफिक एरिया में गहन अध्ययन के साथ ही उनके वैज्ञानिक स्वभाव, उनका टेम्परामेंट, उनकी क्रिएटिविटी और उनकी क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग की क्षमता को बढ़ाने के लिए भी उच्च शिक्षा का परिवेश अति आवश्यक है। तो आइए इस परिचर्चा को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 में उच्च शिक्षा और उच्च शिक्षा में कार्यरत शिक्षक का क्या ओवरव्यू है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के ऊपर, उनके दृष्टिकोण क्या है, इसको जानने के लिए आज हमने अपने संस्थान के कई अलग अलग विभागों के विभागाध्यक्षों को आमंत्रित किया है और पहले सत्र में हम उनके विचार इस परिचर्चा के माध्यम से आप तक पहुंचाएंगे। तो आप सब आमंत्रित हैं इस परिचर्चा में वर्चुअल मोड में हमारे साथ भाग लेने के लिए।
Please welcome Professor H.K. Chopra, sir, Professor, Department of Chemistry, Slide, and convener of NEP for implementation in Slide campus. Professor Surender Singh Sodhi, Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Professor B.K. Kukreja, Professor, Department of Mathematics and HOD Mathematics. Professor Avinash Thakur, Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering, Slide. Now, I would request all my panelists, HODs of the Slide logo wall, please on your audio and video one by one, and in the first part you give in 1 minute the overview of NEP, and before the start of the this discussion, may I request our honorable director Professor Shailen Jain sir to chair this session, and Dean Academic Professor Arora sir to co-chair this session for the discussion. The first round, I would request every participants, every panelist are requested to give in 1 minute your brief overview about the NEP, and the second round we will ask some queries related with the NEP. So we will discuss one by one. In the meantime, whenever it is desired from the co-chair and chair, related query they can ask, and that may be transferred to another panelist. So may I request the first to Madam Professor Dheeraj Sood. Madam was already, she was our Dean Academic in the past, and now she has devoted, I think, more than 25 years in education sector. She is a very renowned researcher also. So Madam, what is your view in 1 minute about the NEP 2020? Madam, please.
Okay, first of all, a very good afternoon and namaskar to all of you. So as I understand from the this National Education Policy 2020, it aims at developing the holistic, inclusive and knowledgeable society with the aim not only to provide sustainable livelihood to the individual, but at the same time approach towards community and national development. Now, to achieve this, this National Education Policy itself talk about some of the key constituents in terms of developing intellectual curiosity, then the constitutional values, scientific temperament, and our creative learning and the moral values, along with these personal attributes, some of the attributes which are directly related to community engagement and the development of the nation as a whole. As Mr. Respected Kothari sir already said, this is an ardent task for implementation of the policy, but we have to take this challenge. And the most important is that our institute, our university, as the sir, Professor Shailendra Jain, our honorable director, already said, we have certain advantages. We are already in the vocational system with the multiple entry-exit system, the flexible system, and the credit-based system. So with these added advantages, whether we can say it is our locational advantages or disadvantages, but as an opportunist, I will say it is a locational advantages where we can contribute more towards the development of this national education policy. And second part again, obviously the first and foremost, we must have a roadmap how we have to achieve and what we have to achieve. That's the first. And the second one is all the step or ladder steps, like faculty, student, staff, administrator, academician. They should have a clear view about what this policy say about. Until and unless each of the stakeholders, they have a clear idea about what we are aiming for, till that the aim cannot be achieved. And what I feel as a slight faculty, the slight, as I said, the locational advantage, the slide can take a lead in terms of development of certain core, addressing certain core issues with respect to the rural environment, then improvement in the agriculture practices and improvement in the agriculture technology with respect to the farm technology. And obviously the farming and agriculture is one sector where the integration of e-commerce and then the like artificial intelligence is still a wider scope is there. And even we can work for the small rural based low cost technologies which can be acting as a change. And moreover, being my research is more or less dedicated throughout to the environmental chemistry, then I will focus definitely beside the others, scarcity, water scarcity is the main emerging issue. So we can work on all these core technologies as an educational institute.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now, may I request Professor H.K. Chopra, sir? Sir, can you hear me?
Professor Chopra is not here. He is in a meeting.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Meeting अभी तक चल रही है, so you can skip him.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Now, may I request Professor Marwaha, sir? Marwaha, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, Mishra ji.
Please on your video. Yes, so now I may request, because you have already leaded us as a dean welfare also in this institute, and right now you are leading us as a HOD electrical. Okay, so in 1 minute I want you first you give your overview about NEP, and then I would like in the specific domain about your expertise in that domain regarding to the student related activity and how the NEP direction is there. So, sir, please.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yeah, please.
So, good evening to all the dignitaries and my dear colleagues. So, as the National Education Policy 2020 basically intends to integrate the Indian education system with the global pattern, and basically it is towards to instill confidence with the pride among the students. And basically, if you talk about the key changes in the policy, there are many changes that has been incorporated, but I will talk about some of the changes. Like right now, the India currently spends around 3.84% of its GDP on the education, but the new education sector or policy will receive 6% of the total GDP in the coming years. So that is creditable if it could be implemented. Then India's gross enrollment ratio for the year 2018-19 was around 26.3%. Now the Education Ministry now targets to get that ratio to 50% by 2035. At present, the India current schooling structure is 10 plus 2 plus 3. Now, while the National Education Policy 2020 is going to change that structures to 5 plus 3 plus 4. That is the foundation stage, then preparatory stage, then middle school stage, then high school stage. So this is again a very welcome step. Then national policy talks about the multi-entry and multi-exit program, where we are already having the expertise. The national education policy will integrate into the 5 years bachelor's and master's program. And if we talk about specifically for the 4-year course structure, then on the exit of doing first year course, the student will get the course certificate. Then on the exit of 2 years course, student will get the diploma course or diploma certificate. And on the exit of 3-year course, the student will get the bachelor's degree certificate. And if he takes some of the subject related to the research, then he will get the degree in the full course. So that is again a very good point. Then currently separate state exams are being held for admission into the institutions for higher education. Now, hereafter, the National Testing Agency will conduct entrance examination for admission to universities across the country. Then this medium of instruction in schools currently depends on the school administration, the medium of instruction until at least 5th, but preferably till 7th and beyond will now be home language. So that is again credible. So all the points are related, which are quite, you can say, beneficial for the student, will give the holistic growth to the student. I think so.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, may I request our HOD Chemical Engineering, Professor Avinash Thakur, for his view on importance of learning environment for the institution like us, and how the teaching of chemical engineering may be more effective under proposed NEP 2020. So, Professor Thakur, please.
Very good afternoon to dignitaries and my dear colleagues. A very interesting question. Okay, first of all, I will like to say something about the national education policy. So, the national education policy focuses on the use of technology for the seamless learning, holistic and multidisciplinary education from the undergraduate level itself. Institutional and academic autonomy, as well as the independent national research foundation, new education policy provides a lot of flexibility and convenience to the student. Then again, there's a opening of the higher education system, higher education to a foreign university definitely will pose a challenge to all of us because we have to compete globally. Then introduction of the 4-year multidisciplinary undergraduate program with multiple exit options. Students have the liberty to choose the subjects they would like to study across the streams and common entrance examination for university. These are some of the key reforms of the higher education systems. If I talk about the school education, major thrust is on the experimental learning and critical thinking, basically. Because the vocational education has been introduced to a school from the class 6, and it will include of the internship as well. And the policy lays special emphasis on the early child care education and development by including a play-based multi-faceted curriculum. The integration of co-curricular subjects at part will help students to honor their hobbies and skills and make value addition in the area of preference. And the project-based learning, vocational learning at an early age and learning of life skills and inclusion of technology will help the child to realize the ambitions and gain multi-dimensional knowledge and universal skills and lay the foundation for the higher education. Then if I talk about that, because obviously teachers, the education policy says that the teachers will have to be recruited, recruitment will be more transparent process and promotion will be on the merit base. And teachers to be offered local, regional, national, and international workshops to help to develop their skills and knowledge also. And if I talk about challenge, basically that we have to put up the renewed focus on arts, humanities, and the importance of research, mandating all the institutions to offer the multidisciplinary form of education to ensure that it will impart skill to the younger generation for life and prepare them for the diverse career in the future. So obviously, the new education policy basically provides an opportunity for vocal for local, basically. It provides in terms of the languages, the child can understand the technology and to develop the skills also. And definitely because when the child will get early, because I believe in the theory basically, it's a younger age, you can mold any child in any form, whatsoever education you impart. If the children has been provided an opportunity to develop a skill at the early stage, that will inculcate in their habit, and definitely they will become more entrepreneurial. They will be giving more innovations to the nation also. So definitely this policy will help holistically the whole nation at a greater extent. And we hope that our nation will be again the foremost educationist among globally also. And related to chemical engineering, the question basically posed by was that obviously in chemical engineering, basically you need a skill, and you should have more skill rather in if I talk about other engineering aspects, because you have the underlying phenomena are different in the chemical engineering. You have to understand. You should have basically insight of views. What happens when we go from one phase to another phase? That is not physically physically visible to the people. But you have to understand, and then you have to approach accordingly. So it is a different stream. So obviously, this education policy will help the education of chemical engineering a lot. So thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Thakur. Now, may I request Professor Manoj Sachan? Can you hear me, Professor Sachan, sir? Please, can you hear me?
Yes, Doctor sir, I can hear you.
So now you know that technology is very important part of the new national education policy, and the computer science is always in the core of all the technology. So in Industry 4.0 era, how you are looking at technology is going to help to inculcate all the important aspect of national education policy more rigorously to the students. Please.
Good evening, eminent panelist. To speak on the national education policy, I have watched some videos on YouTube because it is difficult to read. So I watched some videos because they highlight the salient points. The best part of education policy, which I like, is that it focuses on bringing the best in the student, okay? Whatever it is. It may be some technology based, it may be some art based, it may be any other skill. Okay? That is the best thing I like. Earlier in the curriculum, we did not have the flexibility to get our subjects of interest. Okay? That is the best thing we have in this policy, that whatever we want to pursue, we can get that. Suppose I want to do computer science and I want to study agriculture, I can do that. And so in line with that, we can offer computer science curriculum along with the other curriculum, like, because we are set up in rural background. So whatever is beneficial to the rural people, we can think of that and offer as a part of curriculum. So we can proceed on that direction. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now may I request Professor Sodhi ji, Surinder Singh Sodhi, HOD Electronics Engineering. Okay, what is your view about this optimal learning environment and support for students related with national education policy? Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, respected directors, deans, HODs, and my dear colleague. It is difficult to give the full view what the Professor Mishra asked, but I will give you some key benefit of this new education policy while implementing in the slide, and what are the challenges. As a new education policy for Slight Longowal may facilitate an inclusive participation and a holistic approach, which can take into consideration from field experience, empirical research, stakeholder feedback. It could be progressive shift from a Slight Longowal toward the more scientific approach to education. This structure of the NEEP, Slight and NEEP may help cater the ability of a student at the stage of cognitive development, as well as social, as well as physical awareness. As our institute is already running integrated and flexible curriculum of 3 and 4 year multiple input, multi-entry exit option. So under undergraduate, postgraduate and PhD program, Slide Longwall can establish a separate academic bank of credit to facilitate the transfer of credit to the student sub-branch, which can fully controlled by multidisciplinary education and research university for multidisciplinary education of global standard in engineering and science that can be established in our institute with the collaboration of National Research Foundation. Slide Longwall can fostering a strong research culture and building research capacity. And our institute can establish cell and center with the collaboration of foreign university. But what I feel the challenges which we feel opening cell and center is a Herculean
Okay.
task. So in this COVID area, it is a big challenge for us to develop such a huge amount of funds. So
Okay.
another
Thank you.
vocational is the main problem. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sodhi. Now, may I request Professor Kukreja? Can you hear me?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes. What is just you conclude your overview about NEP, please.
Good evening, Director Sir, and good evening to all the colleagues present over here. As we are aware that National Education Policy 2020 is the first education policy of the 21st century and aims to address the different growing developmental necessities of our country. This policy proposes to revise and revamp the education structure, which includes the regulation and the governance also. The aim of this education policy is to provide quality education system to all the students, irrespective of their place of residence, wherever they are located, with particular focus on the marginalized, disadvantaged, and the underrepresented groups. It will provide schooling access to the early, you can say, childhood to the higher education. And thereby it will integrate around 2 crore out of the school children with the society. The NEP, under NEP 2020, the schooling has been restructured into 4 categories. You are very well aware it is foundational, preparatory, middle and secondary. The early childhood care and the education, it will be delivered through a new curriculum, which will be, you can say, activity-based pedagogy, which will strengthen the most critical phases of the learning of the childhood.
Okay.
It is expected that NEP 2020 will bring major reforms and the changes will boost multidisciplinary, skill-based learning, which is more aligned with the global system.
Thank you, Professor Kukreja. Now, may I request our co-chair of the session, Professor Arora, sir, to please say about the NEP and this session. Arora, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Honorable Professor Shailendran, Director of the Institute, Vice Chancellor Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Punjab Technical University, Professor Bhuta Singh, Registrar NIT Jalandhar, Mr. Mishra, my faculty colleagues from the Sant Longwall Institute of Engineering Technology and other participants, and the host of this program, Professor Mishra. This has been an enlightening session that all the HODs in the institute has presented their views about the NEP 2020. We had a one-day workshop on NEP 2020 in our institute, and we talked about what are the points given in the NEP, and even our observations, our comments were sent to the ministry also on that count. I think this is one of the most beautiful documents whereby the length and breadth of the education system has been covered on all aspects. I could not, when we were discussing, we could not find anything which has not been touched in this education policy, whether it is a early childhood education to the research work, higher education, everything from enrollment ratio, increasing enrollment ratio to increasing the faculty student ratio to increase the budget for the functioning of this, giving autonomous, means whatever we can think of can be done to improve the education system. That was done. Multidisciplinary aspects of the interdisciplinary courses, multi-entry, multi-exit, means whatever we can think of that is elaborated in this education policy. Now it is incumbent on we people, the institute administrations, faculty members, to take up this policy forward, how it fan out, and how we can utilize this particular policy to give a desired shape. Means we always talk about this is not there in the education system, that is not there, but this education policy document is a very beautiful document. If we are able to implement part of it, even part of it, that will lead to a paradigm shift in the education system in India, at least. So hope that discussions in today's whatever views have been presented by different HODs, they are in line and people are thinking in line. And now the time for action will start. We start taking action as we have already, Director Sir has already constituted a task force on NEP 2020 in our institute, and we are working on some new courses also. And as suggested by Mr. Kothari, we will conduct few more programs for the students and the faculty to discuss and how we can carry forward this NEP 2020 in our institute and implement its aspects in the institute. Thank you very much. Hope this program fulfill its objectives.
May I request Honorable Director Sir to conclude this session?
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I wish to extend my thanks to Professor Mishra for taking this initiative to organize this webinar. The main objective, as कोठारी सर ने भी जैसा बताया, दिस इज द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग कि हम में से हर एक को पहले इस पॉलिसी को पढ़ने की जरूरत है, समझने की जरूरत है, और फिर ये तय करने की जरूरत है कि इसमें मेरा रोल क्या होगा। सामान्यतः हम ये मानकर चलते हैं कि यस, जो इम्प्लीमेंट करना है वो सरकार को करना है या जो टॉप अथॉरिटीज हैं उनको करना है, और जब कुछ करने के लिए कहा जाएगा तब हम करेंगे। कुछ हद तक ये ठीक भी है, लेकिन जब ये मालूम है कि हमको करना है, उसके लिए साथ ही यदि हम अपनी तैयारी भी जारी रखेंगे तो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन बहुत ही इफेक्टिव होगा। सामान्यतः ये देखा जाता है कि जो भी पॉलिसी बनती है वो तो बहुत ही अच्छी होती है, लेकिन उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन उस तरीके से नहीं हो पाता है जैसा कि अपेक्षा की जाती है। और उसका एक बड़ा कारण ये भी है कि उसकी जिम्मेदारी किसकी है ये कहीं क्लियरली डिफाइंड नहीं होती है। तो जैसा कि मैं कलाम साहब को एक बार यहाँ पर जो है उद्धत करना चाहता हूँ। एक बार वो किसी इसी तरीके के कार्यक्रम में हिस्सा ले रहे थे, और जब इसी तरीके की कोई बात निकली तो किसी ने कहा कि सर ये तो जिम्मेदारी सरकार की है। तब कलाम साहब ने ये जवाब दिया, हु इज गवर्नमेंट? यू आर गवर्नमेंट, वी आर गवर्नमेंट। तो ये देखिए आप कितनी उचित बात थी कि ये गवर्नमेंट को करना है, लेकिन इट इज अ डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम, हमको ही करना है। और being a teacher, part of educational institution, ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी और बढ़ जाती है। अब हमारा उद्देश्य केवल जो स्टूडेंट्स हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट में पढ़ रहे हैं उनकी शिक्षा तक सीमित नहीं है। हमको अपना रोल और ब्रॉडर पर्सपेक्टिव में देखना होगा। वो छात्रों को तो शिक्षा देना ही देना है, बट उस मेन पावर का उपयोग सोसाइटी के वेलफेयर के लिए, समाज की जरूरतों के लिए कैसे करना है, ये काम भी हम ही कर सकते हैं। और उसके लिए ये जरूरी है कि हम अलर्ट रहें। जैसे अभी जो हमारे पैनलिस्ट बात कर रहे थे उसमें से मैंने कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट में नोट कर रहा था। ये हम जानते हैं और वो बात निकल कर भी सामने आ रही है, लेकिन फर्क कहां होता है, उसको इफेक्टिवली कैसे इंप्लीमेंट किया जाए। मैडम धीरज सूद ने जैसा बताया कि हमको बेसिकली एप्लीकेशन स्पेसिफिक काम करने की जरूरत होती है, तो वो उस तरीके से यदि हम देखें तो हम गांव में हैं, ये हमारे लिए एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है। वी आर सराउंडेड बाय फार्म्स, हमारे चारों तरफ खेत लगे हुए हैं, ये हमारी लैबोरेटरीज हो, और हमारी जो भी डिसिप्लिन की रिसर्च है, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग है, फार्मिंग में क्या टेक्नोलॉजी इक्विपमेंट यूज हो रहे होते हैं, उनको पावर कैसे करना है। कंप्यूटर साइंस की यदि हम बात करें तो वो रिमोट एक्सेस कंट्रोल, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स डिपार्टमेंट की यदि हम बात करें तो आप रोबोट्स की बात करिए, रोबोटिक टेक्नोलॉजी की एप्लीकेशन की बात करिए, फिर चाहे वो स्प्रे ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर्स हो, मॉनिटरिंग ऑफ द क्रॉप हो। जो हमारी इंजीनियरिंग की स्टडीज है वो सीधे सीधे लिंक होनी चाहिए, जैसा कि डॉक्टर अविनाश ठाकुर ने कहा कि प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग होगी। दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव टू। ये छोटे छोटे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, हमने छात्रों को देने हैं, फिर वो इलेक्ट्रिकल पढ़ रहा है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स पढ़ रहा है, मैकेनिकल पढ़ रहा है। मैकेनिकल डिपार्टमेंट की यदि बात करें तो ऑटो फार्मिंग टूल्स अपने आप में एक बड़ा सब्जेक्ट है, और यदि आपको याद हो तो हमने इसकी शुरुआत की थी, हमने स्टूडेंट्स को 50,000 तक के प्रोजेक्ट प्रपोजल इनवाइट किए थे। पॉलिसी की बात हम जब कर रहे हैं, ये जुलाई 2020 में लॉन्च हुई है। ये हम अंडर टीक्यू पिछले 3 साल से इस तरीके के प्रोजेक्ट्स दे रहे हैं। तो बेसिकली पॉलिसी में भी जरूरत नेशनल लेवल पर यही है जो हम सभी सोचते भी हैं, लेकिन इंप्लीमेंटेशन की अकाउंटेबिलिटी की थोड़ी सी जरूरत है। ये जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हमने स्टूडेंट्स को दिए थे वो यही है कि प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग हो, उसके लिए यदि फंडिंग की जरूरत हो तो वो हम प्रोवाइड करें, और जो हमारे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं वो लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोजेक्ट हो। 1 साल में एक बैच काम करके निकल कर खत्म ना करे, अगला बैच उसी को आगे लेकर जाए, तब जाके वो टेक्नोलॉजी में कन्वर्ट होगा। लैंग्वेज की यूज की बात निकल के आई, प्रोफेसर मारवा साहब कह रहे थे, ये हमारी एक बड़ी समस्या है। हम अंग्रेजी में पढ़ाते हैं, ना मुझे अंग्रेजी आती है ना वो स्टूडेंट को आती है। समझने वाले को भी भाषा की समझ नहीं है, समझाने वाला किसी तरीके से पढ़ पढ़ा के इधर उधर की बात करके कन्वे करने की कोशिश कर रहा है। 3 लैंग्वेज पॉलिसी की यहां हम बात कर रहे हैं। हमने लगभग, जैसे आज यदि मैं स्लाइड में बात करूं तो हिंदी, अंग्रेजी, पंजाबी, ये हमारी 3 भाषाएं सामान्यतः निकल कर आती हैं। हमारे स्टूडेंट्स या तो पंजाबी जानते हैं या हिंदी जानते हैं, और अंग्रेजी ऑफकोर्स हमारा मीडियम है। तो यदि हम सभी, अभी हाल ही में अभी चुनाव होने वाले हैं, उसमें ड्यूटी लगने वाली है लोंगोवाल म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन में, मैं समझता हूं सारा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पंजाबी में होगा, हमको पंजाबी नहीं आती है। ये मेरे लिए एक बड़ी परेशानी है। जिसकी भी ड्यूटी लग गई, मान ली मेरी ही लग गई है, तो मैं वो पंजाबी में नहीं पढ़ पाऊंगा। तो ये गतिरोध एक उत्पन्न करता है और इससे समस्या का जन्म होता है। अब हमारी पॉलिसी में इस बात को ये है कि हाँ ठीक है, आपने वो एक तीसरी भाषा भी चुननी है, तो सामान्यतः हर क्षेत्र में 2, 3, 4 भाषाएं ही कॉमनली यूज होती हैं, जो अपेक्षा की जाती है हर एक को आना चाहिए। और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात यह है कि प्राथमिक शिक्षा आपकी मातृभाषा में करनी है। जो थॉट प्रोसेस की बात आती है, जब बच्चा सोचना शुरू करता है तो वो अपनी मातृभाषा में सोचता है। तो वहां पढ़ाई भी हम यदि उस तरीके से करेंगे, फिर धीरे धीरे हम लोग कक्षा 6 से अंग्रेजी पढ़े हैं, मैं समझता हूं हम, मेरी एज के सभी साथी लोग हैं, वही एक पैटर्न से हम निकले हैं। कक्षा 6 से अंग्रेजी पढ़नी शुरू की और आधी दुनिया घूम ली है। भाषा की वजह से कभी कोई परेशानी नहीं हुई है। जितनी जरूरी है उतनी हम सीख गए हैं, समझ लेते हैं, बोल लेते हैं, लिख लेते हैं। तो निश्चित रूप से ये, लेकिन अब हमको ये सोचना होगा कि इसका इफेक्टिव इंप्लीमेंटेशन किस तरीके से हो, ताकि ये बिना गतिरोध के एक फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इन स्ट्रीम ऑप्ट करने में, डॉक्टर सचान बात कर रहे थे कि मेरे पास ये ऑप्शन होना चाहिए, बहुत ही अच्छी चीज है। मैं पढ़ तो कुछ रहा हूं, लेकिन जब मुझे समझ में आया कि अब मैं चेंज करना चाहता हूं आज की जरूरत के हिसाब से, तो वो ऑप्शन भी हम दे सकेंगे। ठीक है, आप इतने क्रेडिट कर लिए, इतने क्रेडिट के साथ इस स्ट्रीम में चले जाइए। ऐसी ही और भी चीजें आपने हर एक ने, सो गुड पार्ट इज दैट कि काफी लोग इन्वॉल्व हुए, एवरी वन ऑफ हैज स्टार्टेड स्टडीइंग द पॉलिसी। जो पठारी साहब ने कहा ये सबसे पहली जरूरत है। तो आप सभी का धन्यवाद। अब हमको इसको और अगले स्तर पर लेकर जाना होगा। निश्चित रूप से सबसे पहले हम ये कोशिश करें कि हमारे सभी फैकल्टी और स्टाफ के सदस्य इस पॉलिसी को पढ़ें अच्छे से। तो मेरी नेक्स्ट पेज में आपने कमेटी बनाई है, उसमें डॉक्टर मिश्रा आप एक दो और लोग आइडेंटिफाई करके कुछ नए भी जोड़ दीजिए। एक क्विज कंपटीशन रख लेते हैं इंटरनल लेवल पर ही, बेस्ड ऑन एनईपी। तो कुछ ऐसा कार्यक्रम रखिए कि हम ऑडिटोरियम में करेंगे, इंस्टेंट आप क्वेश्चन करेंगे, जो जवाब दे रहा है उनको इंस्टेंट प्राइज दीजिए।
ठीक है सर, विल डू।
सिंपली दी अवेयरनेस, और फिर वही हम चीज स्टूडेंट्स तक लेकर जाए।
हमें ऐसा ही नहीं अपितु पूरा विश्वास है कि आपको इस परिचर्चा के द्वारा नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति 2020 के बारे में कुछ जानकारी अवश्य मिली होगी। अतः हमारा एक बार पुनः अपने सभी व्यूअर्स, विद्यार्थियों, मित्रों, शिक्षकों से अनुरोध है कि आप अधिक से अधिक लोगों तक इस वीडियो को शेयर करें या हमारी बातों को पहुंचाने की कृपा करें। आपको ऐसे और एपिसोड के बारे में अविलंब हमारे साथ आप जुड़ सकें, इसके लिए RKM क्रिएशन को सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।